The Bible verse that helped me when I felt like a burden. There's a kind of sadness that doesn't cry out loud. It just settles. It shows up when people stop calling, when your name doesn't come up anymore, when even in a room full of others, you feel like an interruption. I've had days like that, quiet days, where I wondered if my presence was more of a weight than a blessing. I didn't want to be gone. I just didn't want to be in the way. You don't need someone to hurt you, to feel invisible. Sometimes, the silence of being overlooked is enough to start believing the lie that you're no longer needed. And when that lie lingers long enough, it starts to sound like truth. Until one evening, I opened the Bible, not searching, just flipping pages with a tired hand, and I stopped at one verse, a verse I had read before. But this time, it felt like it was written directly to my heart. Not to fix me, not to cheer me up, just to remind me, you still matter. Even in the quiet, even if no one says it, even to your old age and gray hairs, I am He. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. Isaiah 46 verse 4. I had never paid much attention to this verse before. It felt like something for someone else, for someone older, someone more faithful. But that night, when the ache of being too much felt especially loud, this verse found me. I will carry you. Not just when I'm young and full of energy, not just when I'm useful and productive, but even to my old age, even when I feel slow or forgotten, or unsure if I still have a place at the table. I have made you. That part stopped me, because if He made me, then I was never a mistake, never extra, never a burden. I was carried in love from the very beginning. And I will still be carried, even now, not because I'm strong, but because He is. This wasn't a verse about youth or usefulness. It was a promise for the quiet years, the tired years, the years where we feel invisible to the world, but never to Him. I don't remember exactly when it started, the feeling that maybe I was in the way. It wasn't something anyone said directly. It was in the pauses, the unread messages, the way conversations felt shorter, the way rooms felt quieter when I entered. I began to shrink myself, speak less, offer less, because I thought, they have enough on their plate, they don't need me adding more. And somewhere in that slow fading, I convinced myself that being quiet was better than being a burden. I still smiled, still showed up, still asked how they were doing, but inside, I was carrying a question I didn't know how to ask out loud. Am I still needed? One evening, I was sitting by the window. The light was soft. The house was still. I wasn't praying, just thinking, or more honestly, spiraling. And I opened my Bible, partly out of habit, partly out of that ache we only admit to God. That's when I saw it. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I will carry you. I read it again, slower. I have made you, and I will carry you. I sat with those words, not like a sermon, not like something I needed to believe harder. Just like a gentle hand on my shoulder, reminding me, you're not a burden. You're beloved, not because of what you give, but because of who made you. That night, I didn't suddenly feel wanted, but I felt seen. And sometimes, that's more than enough to keep going. That verse didn't suddenly make me feel surrounded. It didn't flood my phone with messages, or fill the room with voices, but it did something deeper. It reminded me that being loved has never depended on being needed. In a world that teaches us to measure our worth by our productivity, our usefulness, or how many people still call us back, God says, I will carry you, not because you're doing enough, not because you're important to others, but because you belong to me. I used to think I had to earn my place, to prove I was still helpful, still worth keeping around. But grace doesn't need proof. It just needs space. And that night I made space for the idea that maybe I wasn't holding up everyone else. Maybe someone was holding me. I have made you, and I will carry you, not just when I'm young, not just when I'm strong, but even now, especially now. That's the lesson I carry with me. I don't have to be useful to be worthy. I don't have to be impressive to be important. I just have to stay, keep breathing, and let myself be carried. If you've ever felt like the world has outgrown you, like your presence is tolerated, but not treasured, I want you to know something. You are not a burden. You are not too much. You are not in the way. And you are not only valuable when you are helpful. The God who formed you, who knows every hair on your head, every ache in your heart, says, I will carry you, not just in your strength, but in your weakness, not just in your purpose, but in your stillness. Even if the phone doesn't ring, even if your name fades from their conversations, you are still seen and deeply loved. If this story gave you peace, even for a few quiet seconds, I invite you to subscribe to Hush Journal. We are a place for the forgotten, the quiet, the ones who feel like they don't belong in a world that never stops moving. Here we believe in small stories and soft reminders that your worth has never depended on your usefulness. You matter because you're here, and that's enough. We'll be right here, in the quiet, every time you need to be reminded that you're not alone, and never, ever, a burden.